war rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warpfire Minis, and X-Planet.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Tonight we're excited to bring you guys another game of Age of Sigmar. Jake, excited to finally have you on the channel.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
No, I'm excited. We've been playing locally a ton together over the years, and excited. I've actually never seen you play Sylvaneth, but you're bringing the trees out tonight.
Yeah, they show up sometimes as guest stars in my living city, but this time I've been practicing this a little bit. And I've been painting them recently as well, so I really wanted to get them on the table in their full leafy splendor.
Yeah, it's perfect. They look beautiful. And to match up against them tonight, our YouTube members voted for me to play the Gloomspite Gitz. So this is like the old battle box that came out a year or two ago. So we'll have the little goblins facing off against the trees and all the spites. So excited for this one here. But today the mission we're playing is close to the chest. Yes. So we got 6 objectives on the table. There's the zigzag deployment and the main trick with this one is normal, hold 1, hold 2, hold more storing, but we each have 3 objectives that on our opponent's turn, we have to make one of those 3 the primary. It's worth a bonus point, so a few extra points throughout the game here and there, at least the potential for it. And that's about it. So, Jake, do you want to take us through your list?
Absolutely. So we've got a Gnarlroot list with Dwindling. We've got the Warsong Revenant, who's Spellsinger, sort of leading the charge.
Nice.
He's got the Arcane Tome for 3 casts. Also in the heroes, we've got the Arch Revenant buffing up the Kurnoth bows. And then we've got the Celestant Prime, who is over there. He's in the celestial skies of Azir right now, but I think we'll see him later.
For sure.
For Battle Line, we've got 2 times 10 Tree Revenants. We've got 10 Dryads. We've got 6 of the Revenant Seekers. Those are the ones that res. And then we've got 6 Kurnoth bows. A lot of Sylvaneth players, not a big fan of bows. I think in the context of this list, they can do some work.
I like them, but you often see them more in the Kurnoth sub-faction.
Yes.
But here, when you have the Arch Revenant giving them the +1 to wound as well, the 6 patch is definitely viable with an all-out attack.
For sure. So that's my list. We've got 3 drops here. So it's a Battle Regiment plus Bounty Hunters. We've got the Flies and Bounty Hunters, obviously. And we've also got the Bows and Bounty Hunters, just because I think that, if you're going to spend 460 points or whatever on the Bows, you've got Bounty Hunters, you can also turn them into a credible melee threat.
Yes.
So they're a 2-phase unit rather than a 1-phase unit.
Yep, for sure.
That's my thinking.
Much scarier to go into for your opponent if they're using a lot of GVs.
Sure.
Here, then jumping into my list, I do have a bunch of GVs, but they're not necessarily the ones I'm worried about expecting to do much damage with. So I got 3 units of Stabas here, just as battle line, 20 blocks each of them. And again, that's just my screens as we see in deployment. The real meat of this list is going to be all my Boin Drop Bounders and Squigs. I have 2 units of 10 Boin Drop Bounders here. And then for Squigs, I have the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig and a just regular Mangler Squig. So I'll have those guys all running around. I have a Loon Boss on Giant Cave Squig as well. And notably, actually, the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig is my general. He's got the Calamity Cowl for -1 to hit, and he's got the command trait for +2 wounds on him, so a little extra tanky. And then, as a mercenary in here today, I've got a Mega Gargant, so Gatebreaker for a little extra damage, a big body presence, something that's a little harder to chew through. So I'm, hoping to get all those pieces in. And we'll see if the Squigs can't run down a couple of the trees.
I really hope not.
Yeah,
please.
We'll see. With that said, I was actually a 5-drop here with Battle Regiment and Expert Conquerors on my Stabas. So that did leave you with choice here, Jake. So you're going to have to decide who goes first.
Yeah, I think I famously almost always take second. In this scenario, with this list, sometimes there is a case to go first when you have your wizard out of unbind range. You can set up a tree pretty aggressively, hit a lot of things. There is ways I could maybe hit some things, but I don't think I really get the value I'm looking for. And it's not worth risking the double.
The potential double could be triple and back.
So in this case, because I don't see any mistakes, I'm gonna give it to you.
Cool.
And hopefully I don't get run over turn 1 by the Squid Stampede.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll jump into Gloomspite Gitz, turn 1.
Venturing forth from their dark caverns, the Gitz battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Loon boss on Mangler Squigs fails heroic leadership while the Arch Revenant succeeds. On the march and claiming ground, the Gloomspite complete their battle tactic and score 5 points. That's got to be the most uneventful turn I've ever narrated.
Gloomspite turn 1 was very effective, though very boring. It did obviously not a whole lot for me to do here. I have some speed, but it's very dice dependent and didn't really feel like rushing anything forward yet. Though I did kind of just push forward with all my screens more than anything, denying your terrain pieces and overgrown, snagging objectives, trying to push back where you can summon trees and AoE stuff. So just trying to, like when you have hordes of little goblins, just trying to flood the board with them and use them to get in the way. So hopefully we've done that effectively. Worth noting, we didn't mention at the start, but we are playing these 2 big terrain pieces as line of sight blocking. Although we say it all the time, it's always key, especially to have some central ones.
For sure.
Make the game a little interesting. But other than that, I kind of have all my more important pieces in behind, hopefully protected. We'll be able to do some shooting, but there's not too much I can do to avoid that. So, gonna have some options.
The onus is on me to crack this goblin castle.
Exactly. But that's it for Gloomspite. I get all my points in my battle tactic here, so we'll just go into Sylvaneth turn 1.
Let's do it.
Wary of their unassuming enemy, the Sylvaneth battle tactic is against the odds. The Arch Revenant and Loon boss on Mangler both fail heroic leadership. The Warsong Revenant casts Verdant Blessing, Mystic Shield on the Seekers, and the Dwellers below deal 7 mortals to the Stabas. The Stabas redeploy, moving 6 inches. The Kurnoth use all-out attack, and the Mangler Squigs defend, suffering only 2 damage. The Kurnoth use forward to victory, but fail their charge. Recognizing a trap set by the Gitz, the Sylvaneth complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
It was a dark day in the forest, turn 1. Things didn't go as planned. So Jordan did a really good job positioning his unit so I couldn't get a good spell bomb off. So in the absence of that, I just elected to put a wood over here just so I have more movement options and buff up the flies with Mystic Shield. In the movement phase, I'd moved the flies up. He to be 3 inches away from the goblins. understanding he could redeploy, which he did, which he got a 6.
Got lucky, yeah.
He got a big 6.
So what you always pray for, but you never expect.
Yeah, the Loon Curse is real. So that wasn't good because I think he said that he had measured it and he needed a 4 or 5 to deny me the ability to charge and strike and fade away.
Yep, so far enough from the woods.
Yep. So I took a bit of a risk there just because I felt I was on a timer to get these goblins off the board before I get outscored, and didn't pay off. Otherwise, over here, the Kurnos teleport over and shot the unmounted Mangler. Yep. Got 7 wounds through. I believe you saved 6?
6 on 4 up, 6 or 7, yeah.
So yeah, a grand total of 2 damage there. The Celestin stayed in the sky. Every other charge failed, so the Kurnos with the reroll failed, and Dryads failed. So it'll be a 4-point turn for the Sylvaneth. Didn't lose anything, of course. Flies are in a bit of a precarious spot, so I'm glad I got the Mystic Shield at least.
Yeah, but again, with not being able to strike and fade, you felt safer there than if you charged in.
Sure.
Because then I get to bring everything into you. If Prio goes
at least
way.
this way, there's ways I can play around. I can redeploy. I can use the tree to kind of block models. I think I have a better chance of surviving here than if I do here.
Charge in. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, that does leave us with a big turn to priority.
Oh, sweating.
Yeah. So
very scary.
That's a 2.
Oh, that's the 6. Okay. Yeah, so I think I get a second chance to make things right.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so we're coming back with a vengeance. Let's go for the Sylvaneth double turn.
Sounds good. We're going to Sylvaneth, turn 2.
Counting Ilariel's blessing, the Sylvaneth battle tactic is Harness the Spirit's Path. The Arch Revenant and Loon Boss on Mangler both use Heroic Leadership. The Gitz nominate a Proving Ground. The Warsong Revenant casts Verdant Blessing. Unleash Swarm of Spites deals 12 mortals, and Dwellers below deal 8 mortals to the Stabness. The Tree Revenants use Up the Double. The Stabbers redeploy, moving 3 inches. The Celestin Prime deep strikes from the heavens. The Kurnoth use all-out attack, and the Mangler Squigs defends, taking 8 damage this time. The Celestin Prime's Comet Strike Scepter deals 7 mortal wounds. Big Drog roars at the Seekers. One unit of Stabbas use all-out defense, and the Seekers deal 4 damage to them, 2 to the Gargant and 5 to the other Stabbas. Then the Seekers use Strike and Fade. The Stabbas attack the Dryads, dealing 2 damage. The Kurnoth fight next, dealing 10 damage to the Stabbas. In follow-up, the Dryads attack and kill 1 more Stabba. 1 unit of Stabbas uses Inspiring Presence, and the other flees due to battle shock. Landing a heavy blow against their foe, the Sylvaneth complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
So I think I kind of had the turn that I wanted to have turn 1. Fortuitous that I got that prio because I got another chance to make things right. So we kind of started the turn off. I think we did Harness the Spirit Paths as our battle tactic. So that's a Sylvaneth specific one. So you have to make a charge with a unit, and then they have to be set up using the From the Woodland Depths battle trait, which encompasses
strike and fade.
Some people don't know this, but it's actually includes strike and fade.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do the 9-inch charge. You can charge and then pull them away, and you get it. In terms of hero phase, I think we had a much better spell bomb this turn. Yeah, the tree placement was tight. But we got a lot of targets, really hit those, hitting mostly screens, but really racked up a lot of gobos, sent them packing back to the caves.
Yep.
A lot of mortal wounds. Moving on to the movement phase, I sort of just collapsed on this flank. I had the flies go up to the middle for a 3-inch charge. This time, less vulnerable to redeploy, just because he had more than one unit there. I did bring the Celestin down this turn. Now, because the screens were still very much intact, I decided it would probably not be the best play to charge him into goblins and then have him get jumped on by boing rods.
Yes, so I just can do the mortals and stuff.
Yeah, I just brought him down to get the lightning strike, get some value going. The Kurnoths shot the unmounted Mangler once again, this time bringing him down to 2 wounds, so just 1 shot short of finishing the job. The bugs got into combat, reaped a pretty good toll, but crucially, we have 1 goblin survived in that unit, and 2 goblins survived in that unit on the objective.
And being expert conquerors, denying it from the tree revenants.
Unfortunate, costing me a point, but the Bad Moon wills it. The goblins are sticking around.
Yes, sir.
Over on this flank, the Kurnoths got some value out of their bounty hunters. They kicked some goblins to the curb. Dryads killed a single goblin, so they're not totally useless, and that unit ran into battle shock. So once again, because at the end of the turn, because I didn't win that objective, I'll once again get 4 points. But notably, I did save my flies from being punted into Shadow Realm.
Yes, obviously safer than you were after your
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
So I'll pass things to you, and let's see how the goblins
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll jump into Gloomspite Gitz, turn 2.
With the enemy in striking range, the Gloomspite battle tactic is barged through enemy lines. The Loon Boss on Mangler uses heroic leadership while the Arch Revenant fails. The Bad Moon progresses to the first table quarter, and the Stabbas rally, returning 1 model. The Stabbas use at the double. The Tree Revenants redeploy, moving 6 inches. The Kurnoth unleash hell, taking out the Loon Boss on Cave Squig. The Loon Boss on Mangler fails his charge, then the Boinders roll snake eyes. This is a frickin' disaster. The other Bounders deal 7 mortal wounds on impact. The Mangler Squig fails to stomp the Kurnoth, then attacks first and deals 6 damage. The Tree Revenants use Martial Memories for all-out attack and deal 2 damage to the Bounders. The Bounders attack next, but deal just 1 damage to the Tree Revenants. The Kurnoth Hunters finish off the Mangler Squigs with Trample Underfoot. As Squigs trip over their own feet, the Gitz still complete their battle tactic, surprisingly, and score 5 points.
Well, it was a roller coaster of a turn 2 for the Gitz. Yeah. From like movements to, charges especially. A couple heartbreaking things. I got a nice charge with my my 1 die to soak the Unleash Hell, letting my Mangler get in with that only had 2 wounds left.
Yes.
Hoping I would also get my Boing Rots and my General in. General rolled a 6, 1 inch out. Then these guys snake eyes it, and I even had said it before after the rally. I'm gonna regret doing this rally. I didn't have the command points to re-roll anything. So the rally definitely wasn't worth it. My thought was with a double, rallying twice would be enough to kind of just walk on and take that objective. I don't think I should have risked it here. Probably should have waited for the double, and then tried to rally at that point. But with the Goblins, because they also had to spend a CP to guarantee their run to get them into the territory for Barge. Here I would have dropped Barge in the end anyways, but I wanted the bonus point. It keeps me at 5 points, or puts me at 5 points again for this turn.
Yep.
So trying to, build a bit of a lead.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Mangler did kill the 8 Kurnoth, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not enough. Really, obviously, would have wanted to get more stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, putting pressure on a little bit now. We're both starting to be a little spread out. This objective is open for potential teleport, but like we saw with the tree ordnance, as soon as you get it once, and then your opponent's going to kill them back if they teleport.
Exactly.
So you have to spend it once. But before any of that, we are into another priority roll, going into turn 3.
And this is a big prio because there's a gatebreaker right in front of my face.
There is.
He's in the woods.
That's a 1.
Oh, that's a 3.
Okay.
What do I do? What do you think?
Yeah.
Lariel, guide me. I think I'll take it.
Cool, sounds good.
Yeah,
makes sense. So we will jump into Sylvaneth, turn 3.
Eager to capitalize on the momentum, the Sylvaneth battle tactic is barged through enemy lines. The Arch Revenant fails heroic leadership, and Big Drog uses their finest hour. The Warsong Revenant fails Virtuous Harmony, casts Tree Song, then deals 3 mortals with Unleashed Worm of Spites. The Celestant Prime's Comet Strike Scepter deals 1 mortal wound. The Kurnoth use all out attack, and the Bounders defend, taking 4 damage. Big Drog fails to roar the Seekers. The Seekers use all out attack as Drog defends, and they deal 13 damage, then strike and fade. The Bounders attack the Kurnoth, dealing 5 damage. The Celestant Prime attacks the other Bounders, dealing 6 damage. The Bounders fight back and deal 1 damage to the Prime. The Kurnoth attack the Bounders, dealing 5 damage. 1 unit of Bounders use Inspiring Presence, but 4 Bounders flee from the other unit, showcasing their physical might against their small foe. The Sylvaneth complete their battle tactic and score 6 points.
Okay, so I took top of 3.
Yep.
Did some moving and shaking. We did have hero phase, not very explosive mortal wounds wise. Failed to get the Kurnoth back. A little bit of mortal wounds here, cleared out some goblins. Got the extra rend.
Tree Song was big.
Tree Song was big.
Yep.
Tree Song was big. We did barge through enemy lines this turn, just because I think with the Dryads, always kind of in threat range of the Squigs. Tree Revs are pretty high priority targets. They're quite frail. So I wanted to get that bonus point in, A, because I'm behind, B, because those units might not always be there. Primetime got into combat this turn. Killed a few Squigs. Kurnoth shot, charged some Squigs over on this side of the board. Really just trying to pull the trigger. I don't want to be the Sylvaneth player who leaves it too long. Yeah. Does too much stick and move. Doesn't actually commit to the objectives.
Definitely running on all cylinders now. Compared to early.
Yep. The game has definitely opened up. It's become a combat game. We got the Gargant fairly low.
20 wounds on him now.
So okay, 20 wounds. 15 left. And the fly is retreated. So overall, not happy with the turn. 6-point turn, so I'm trying to close that 2-point differential. And let's see if I can stay ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, we'll just jump into a Gloomspite Gitz, turn 3.
Let's do it.
On their back foot, but not out of the battle, the Gloomspite battle tactic is against the odds. The Loon Boss on Mangler and Celestant Prime both use their finest hour. The Bad Moon progresses to the center of the battlefield. Big Drog finally gets to hurl a boulder and misses. Drog deals 2 mortals to the Celestin Prime on impact. The Mangler stomps the Kurnoth, dealing 2 mortals, and Big Grog roars at the Prime. Eager to turn the tides of battle, Big Drog prepares a pulverizing strike, but he completely misses. The Kurnoth fight next, dealing 2 damage to the Bounders. The Loon Boss on Mangler uses all that attack and the Kurnoths defend, but the Loon Boss takes them all out. The Celestin Prime attacks the Bounders, dealing 9 damage. So close to a monumental counterattack, the Gitz complete their battle tactic and score 4 points.
Well, we had a pretty good turn. Hoped for better. The big story went for the pulverizing strike. It's like the first chance where it's actually like interesting.
Yep.
The Primes, you had him find a Sour.
Yeah.
He's started to save, he's started to board. Best way to get through the save, obviously, mortal wounds.
Sure.
Went for the 4-hour pulverizing strike to do 46 mortal wounds. Rolled the 2. It was like so.
My heart was gonna stop.
6.
I saw the 6 too.
Yeah. Didn't get it, so just hoping for Prio for another chance at that.
But
though the Mangler went in and mangled.
Oh.
Took out 4 Kurnoth on his own.
Carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did like 20 damage.
He's
so
bonkers. Yeah.
He was awesome. 2s and 2s. Can't really ask for more. I wasn't confident in clearing that unit.
Yep.
But the fact that I did could be huge. Now, again, if I had also taken the Celestin Prime down, that would have been an amazing turn.
I was in trouble big time. I mean, I'm still in trouble, but
yeah. Because a Prio would mean I would take both of these objectives.
Sure.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Actually, this Boindrop might flee, and he does.
Okay.
So not great there.
This Boindrop, you pass battle shock?
I have nothing. You killed 1, so that guy's good.
Okay.
I do bring back a unit at the end of my turn.
End of the turn, yep.
So we're going to roll that. Unit does not come back.
Okay.
So that would have been great as well, actually. That potentially is putting guys to take this objective back.
Yeah, and kill my Revenants too.
Yeah. So this turn could have been, it was actually...
Gets it tricky, yeah.
Could have been interesting.
Yeah.
Still all right, but here I'll get just 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
So this is bringing us tied right now.
Oh, even.
And into another interesting priority roll.
My heart can't take another one.
A 6.
Oh, you finally got it.
Okay.
Gotta take it.
Yeah, obviously taking here.
Yeah.
Let's jump into Gloomspite Gitz, turn 4.
Wow, you won priority, look at that. With another chance to swing the battle back into their favor, the Gloomspite battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Sylvaneth declare a proving ground. The Loon Boss on Manglers fails heroic leadership and the Arch Revenant uses their finest tower. The Arch Revenant redeploys, moving 3 inches. The Mangler stomps the Arch Revenant, dealing 2 mortals, and Big Drog fails to roar. Preparing another pulverizing strike to end the Celestin Prime, this time Drog manages to... no, he missed. Again. The Arch Revenant attacks and finishes off the last bounder. The Loon Boss on Mangler fights next, but only deals 3 damage to the Arch Revenant. The Celestin Prime piles in to fight the lone Stabba, then splatters him across the ground. The Dryads attack the Lone Boss on Mangler, dealing 1 damage. Unable to capitalize on their opportunity, the Gitz, you guessed it, failed their battle tactic, but at least scored 2 points.
All right, we're back. Sadly, it was a far less effective turn. Again, went for the 4-up.
You gotta do it.
At this point, I'm on such a bad foot. I only really have 2 models left. There wasn't much opportunity to come back in the game. So why not go out with some flavor?
He did it for you.
With some flair.
He did it for all of you.
Yeah.
He embraced the chaos.
I failed it though. I'm maybe not the person that should be risking it on single dice rolls. But yeah, Mangler, your 4 board, on the the Arch Revenant kept her alive.
Yeah, I was going to say, by what kind of moon magic does this Mangler Squig kill 4 Kurnoth and does 4 wounds to that little Arch Revenant?
Yeah. I mean, the difference of all Finest Hour, +1 to wound, and just dice. But wards obviously are big too, right? Yep. So, yeah, it's kind of funny though. Smartly made that the proving ground. So, my big hope here again, there were still little plays. If I took out the Celestine Prime, I had made that, or someone made that a proving ground earlier, and you couldn't have done that. That's neither here nor there. And then I summoned or brought back 5 guys. I again could have been looking at like a 5-point turn here.
I think this game is like, it's peak Gitz. Like, you're so close to having so many good things happen, but you're so beholden to the dice. And this time the dice just said no.
They haven't been with me in a couple of those key rolls. But I can't be too upset about it. It's been fun. There's very few Gitz left on the table.
Super fun game.
But we'll jump into a Sylvaneth turn 4.
Yep.
In position to clinch the victory, the Sylvaneth battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Arch Revenant and Loon Boss on Mangler both fail heroic leadership. The Warsong Revenants cast Verdant Blessing, Arcane Bolt, and Unleash Swarm of Spikes, dealing 5 mortals to the Loon Boss. The Celestine's Prime Comet Strike Scepter deals 1 mortal to the Gargant. The Seekers use Forward to Victory and make their charge. The Loon Boss on Mangler roars the Seekers. The Loon Boss on Mangler uses All-Out Defense as the Seekers attack, dealing 5 damage to it. The Loon Boss deals 11 damage and kills 2 Seekers, claiming the battlefield as they neutralize the final threats. The Sylvaneth complete their battle tactic and score 6 points.
So this is bottom of turn 4.
Yep.
Did some little bit of cheeky Sylvaneth stuff and actually ripped a big charge.
Yeah.
So I called desecrate their lands this turn, and I used my teleporting to make a ring around the bad moon, so there would be
bringing back.
Let's be honest, you weren't rolling the 4-ups anyway, but I just took away the hassle of you rolling it. You're welcome for that. Over here, I fell back. I shot some lightning at the Gargant, did nothing. He rolls 1s all game. That's okay. Over here, I was 11 inches away, rolled the charge just to see if I could get it, and they made it in.
Yep.
Now again, the problem with the flies is they hit on 4s naturally. So with the Clammy Cowl, being on 5s to hit is...
And he got the roar off.
Got the roar off. It's rough. So we got him close. We didn't quite kill him.
5 onto him. He's got 3 wounds left, but that actually put him at his top bracket.
Yeah, so it really backfired there. And I lost 2 flies in return, but because that's a proving ground, I can't lose it anyway. So I had a free play there to try to make
too little, too late.
Yeah.
So you'll get your full amount of points here.
Yep.
And we can probably just roll out turn 5 and talk it out. That's a 1.
5.
Okay. So at this point, you're getting 5 in your turn again.
Yep.
You do gain momentum.
Probably do gain momentum.
Yeah. I think you'll do last 3 wounds between the bugs and
I think the spell will probably get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what I really want to know is, I'm going to leave my Celestine Prime there.
Okay.
Can you please smash
All
me?
we're doing, so I'm just going to roll a charge.
Yeah. You got to reroll.
No, I would have moved an inch closer.
Okay,
so it was a 3, so we got my charge.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to redeploy.
I'm not. I would never do that.
I'm not even going to do a monstrous action, because all I care about is the 4-up absolute smash. I roll 5, so let's go 46 mortal wounds.
Okay.
Celestine, he's got 3 wounds on him.
Yep, he's got 5 left.
What are we doing?
Oh no!
So that's 18 mortal wounds.
18, 3, 4.
This is heartbreaking
11,
that this didn't happen
13,
2 turns ago.
14. Let's just roll 14 and see if I make it. Oh no, he's gonzo.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, well,
gonzo.
Moral victory. Celestine Prime offered himself up and
back to his ear. Yep.
got smashed by a Gargant.
as is supposed to happen for the past 2 turns.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously what, when that rule came out, not reliable, not a good play. It's kind of, maybe you do it when you're like on final bracket or in a in a situation where you're facing something that's like massive save stacking.
I think on the turn where I had finest hour, you could make a legitimate argument that
was the right play.
A valid play.
Yeah.
After that, you did it for the tubes.
Well, I mean, the first time, like you said, it was legitimate play. Would have been in a great position if it went off and got prio. But yeah, here still a lot of fun. Cool to a little swingy. Perfect for the Gitz, right? Just and
I think there's a lot of points of the game where if prio goes your way, if you can bring back some Gitz if they actually want to leave their cave,
stores a couple points.
You smash the Celestant. Like this game was a lot closer than the end board state.
The first, it was definitely like, honestly, like turn 2. I was bottom of turn 2, so that was probably the turning point in the game because I feel like Gitz were ahead in terms of board control and everything on the scoreboard. But failing those 2 charges and losing priority there into 3 was like, Gitz is one of those armies. They're behind the curve. It's an old book. They're not, don't have super efficient war scrolls or great stat lines. So, leaving that stuff there and then losing prio I think that was like the back-breaking moment. Still a little play into turn 3 into 4, but I needed to take down the Celestant, win prio, and be able to like move on to stuff. And
I think you did a great job of finding those moments to keep yourself in the game with such an army that's historically struggled. Unfortunately, those moments that came down to luck didn't go your way.
Spending that 1 CP on rally.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's bit me in the butt.
But I want to say the model of the game was that little goblin who sat there for probably 3 turns, denied me 2 to 3 victory points probably over the course of the game, just existing.
And then got smashed by
Galmaraz. But it's never felt so satisfying to smash a Garrote.
Yeah, for sure. And then outside of that, obviously on your turn, you're storing all the points, take him out. The Lone Dargent, the mercenary, is the only one left standing in the Goblin army. So he'll probably just wander off and find something to eat.
Gone.
But great here. Talking about Sylvaneth, again, you've been playing this. I was excited to get to play against it because anytime we have Sylvaneth on the channel, it's usually me playing it. So Dave has some different matchups, and $6 is gaining popularity in terms of like a good unit. I just love to hear your thoughts on it. So in the army in general.
So I think first of all, I'm gonna not pat myself on the back. I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna chastise myself because the first thing I said is, boy, I hate when Sylvaneth players go for long charges, fail it, and they get stuck with their butts in the wind. What did I do turn 1? I literally did that. So stupid me. Don't do what I did.
Tough though. I mean, that's all combat army. We're always at the risk of a big redeploy.
Redeploy is good. It's tough to play a redeploy. The bugs are a great unit. I honestly the thing with the bugs is a lot of the juice is on their war scroll. So I think the bugs are even good in stuff like Living City, where just what's on their war scroll makes them so strong. They're a great mid-board unit. Their tankiness is respectable. If something really deadly gets into them, it'll wipe
resiliency
them.
Of wounds, and like the recursion of models.
Well, it's recursion. As long as you're canning, you don't let them get one shot. You can waste so much of your opponent's output just bringing guys back. You've got the rally. You can regrow from the Warsong Revenant. They regrow themselves. Great unit. Offensive output's a little bit spiky, but in Sylvaneth, you kind of solve that because you get the free play every turn where you go, okay, I either kill you or I don't, but I'm pulling back.
Yes, they're not taking hits back.
They're not taking hits back. In practice, I think the list kind of played as I thought it would play. The game plan a little bit whiffed turn 1. And I don't know if that's because maybe the Gitz you have so many bodies on the board. It's really hard for me to place that really good tree turn 1 to get a bomb off. I'm sure people who are bow detractors, this game didn't change their mind. But in my defense, that Mangler rolled really well.
the other thing I always say in describing the bows is like, you could put the 400 or 500 points into another unit.
Yeah.
But with the strike and fade mechanic, which is really what Sylvaneth plays around a lot of the times.
Yeah.
If you had a second unit, you're not leveraging it.
No, correct.
So the Kurnoth aren't doing the like damage of scythes or something else. Mm-hmm. They're leveraging their damage at range every turn in addition to whatever else you're doing.
Exactly.
So.
And the other thing I was gonna, on that note, talking about units competing for those much coveted teleport slots.
Yep.
One of the list suggestions people have said to me as well, instead of the Prime, you could have Draika in there. That's true. Draika does different things, but the problem is Draika very much wants the teleport, and she very much wants the strike and fade. Mm-hmm. And so if Draika's taking up both of those slots, or if she's not, like she's not getting her full value unless she takes those.
And then something else isn't.
Yeah. I think it's important to have that movement phase teleport slot available, just in case the enemy army is very unbind heavy.
Yeah.
Because typically, if you put a lot of your overgrown to the back of your deployment, you can pivot your war song around to stay away from the unbinds for next turn if you get a double, etc., etc. And so I just think having that option available opens up a lot of play. And also, I think Draika is meaningfully less tanky than the Celestin Prime. Yeah. He's quite a good anvil.
Yeah, I think he's great. Like I really liked him. Similarly with Draika, I also breaks my heart that she went down to 12-inch shooting range.
Yeah,
because she was she was awesome as an early game character sniper, and then kind of mid to late game she would get into combat when some of the scarier stuff is away.
Sure. Yeah.
So
she's still great.
Yeah.
I just think for this list and what I'm doing, it's not the right fit. I don't have the point spare to take Lachon the Soul Seeker either, which is a great combo. But it not right for this list.
Yeah. Yep, totally fair. But yeah, great showing for Sylvaneth. Always love to see the different builds, and then here very effective with the Celestin Prime. Although he did die at the end of the game. Just want to make a point of that. But either way, Jake, it was a blast of a game.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So hope obviously you enjoyed it. Hope everyone watching enjoyed it as well. Either way, guys, we'll see you soon in another video.
Cheers.